Hey, so today we are making okra and shrimp stew. So I'm really excited about it. I made the shrimp broth earlier. I boiled the shrimp shells with some bay leaves and I strained them and sifted them and did all the juice and everything. Made sure there was no bits in there. Okay, so I'm gonna turn you guys around and we gonna get this party started. Let me see. I gotta set this up like this. Let me turn this around over here. Just so, wait a minute, let me adjust this so that you'll be able to see the pot. Can you guys see that pot? Wait a minute. There we go, right there. Now you can see, right? Okay. Maybe I should do it this way just a little bit more. And then do this. There we go. So that's the broth. Okay, I'll show you guys. Let me put my lid over here. Okay. Let me flip you around. Oops, sorry. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to bring my broth. Whoops. I'm going to bring my broth to a boil. They don't call me Grace for nothing, y'all. Okay, so I'm going to bring my broth to a boil. This is my shrimp broth that I made earlier today. And as soon as that broth comes to a boil, and then I'm going to start putting my ingredients in it. The hardest part is making the shrimp broth. So y'all can see that. Let me see if I can turn my light on here, which will make it better. There we go. There it is. And I do not know how to do the light on Papa Jerry's. So this is my shrimp broth that I made with the bay leaf. I boiled this with the bay leaf so that the bay leaf flavor is right in the broth. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put onions. A yellow onion. And I like a lot of onion, so I used an extra large onion. And we just dump that right in there. And you have to remember that these veggies will make some broth. And this is celery with the leaves. I like the leaves. Oh, shoot. I'm melting you guys. Y'all was right on there. Dang it. Let me get a... I was melting my holder, son. There we go. Okay. Told y'all, they don't call me Grace for nothing. Okay, I had you too close to the burner. There we go. Okay, so next we're gonna put our celery with our celery leaves because the leaves really carry a lot of flavor, so we want our leaves in there. So that's our celery with our celery leaves. And I am one of them cooks. I scrape the bowl clean. Waste not, want not. Y'all already know. Okay, and now my carrots is like shredded, so we're gonna put them in there. Just like downtown. Okay, and we're gonna stir this in, and we want this to come to a nice rapid boil. As soon as this starts coming to a nice rapid boil, and then we will put garlic in here. But patience is a virtue. And that's still smoking back there. There you go. So there it is. I don't know how to... Let me see here. Them ones you can't swipe away. That you can. Okay. I did it. I took a snapshot. There we go. I'm learning how to work the Android phone along with the... So we want this to boil. We will put some black pepper in here. we're going to put about a tablespoon of black pepper. I am not a salt person, so I am not going to put salt in it. And I also will put some ginger paste. A tablespoon of ginger paste. Just like, maybe like that. So there we go. Put that back in the refrigerator. Okay, so we're waiting for this to come to a nice boil. We want this to boil real nice. And as soon as we reach a boil, so let me make sure you know what I have in here. I made shrimp broth with the shrimp skins, and I put a big bay leaf in there, and I let it boil for about 30 minutes. Then I strained the broth like a couple times just to make sure there was no bits in there, with a nice thin screen also. And so it was like clean, you know, from any sediments or shrimp legs or anything like that. So, or shrimp skin, just to make sure that it's clean and strained good. So that's what I did. And then I have put in our yellow onion. I did an extra large. It calls for a large. I put an extra large in it. I put 2 stalks of celery with the leaves. And I put onions, which is one, or not onions, carrots, I'm sorry. 1 cup of shredded carrots. That was about 2 carrots. And so now we added that in with black pepper and a tablespoon of ginger paste. And so we're gonna let this come to a boil. Just like that. And it's starting to boil. This is, I think the hardest thing about this soup is the preparation, because you have onions to cut and celery and carrots and, you know, like green bell pepper. And I cut a red bell pepper because I like color in my meals. And corn and green beans and tomatoes. You cut tomatoes. It called for a 28-ounce can of diced tomatoes, but I had cherry tomatoes, and so I diced my own tomatoes. And so I'm not using a canned tomato in here. I'm going to use fresh tomatoes. So yeah. So this is starting to boil a little bit, so I know I'm in a hurry because we're live, and I apologize. But, so this calls for 4 cloves of garlic, which I have minced. I have this little garlic mincer that I love so much, and you just put it in there and it minces it into this cup. So now I'm going to put our garlic in there. And I want every little piece, because y'all know how I roll. That's the way we roll. That is exactly how we roll. And I love this this garlic mincer. Look at, because it has like a screen. You see that screen? And then I can get every bit of the garlic that there's waste not, want not. Y'all will learn. Look at that shrimp broth boil up. You see that orange? That's from the shrimp. That's the flavor right there, y'all. That right there, that's called flavor. Y'all see that orange color? I love it. I love it. Don't you love it? Oh, yeah. Don't you love it? Don't you just love it now? Look at that. Okay, now that is coming to a boil. And that's what we want. We want it to boil. Look at that. You see that? That's part of the shrimp broth right there. You see that orange, pink That right there is part of the shrimp broth. That's what I'm talking about. That's called flavor in your mouth. Mm-mm. Okay, now I have one green pepper and one red bell pepper. These are sweet peppers, and we're just gonna throw them in there, just like that. We're gonna throw them bell peppers right in there to cook with all them other veggies. My. Look at that, just like downtown, son. Just like Mama used to make, boys. Okay, so we have a cup of yellow corn, sweet corn. We're gonna throw that in there. Just throw it in there. That's why they call it stew. And we got a cup of green beans that we're gonna throw in there. Cut green beans. These were frozen, so was the corn. So we're gonna throw that right in there. Just like downtown. We gonna stir it. Look at them colors, y'all. That's what I'm talking about. Look at them colors. My. Just like Mom used to make. Okay. Now, I'm going to put my tomatoes in there. These are the tomatoes that I cut. And I have a bowl. This is about 2 cups of tomatoes. I figured that would be about 28 ounces of canned tomatoes because that's what the recipe called for. So we just gonna throw that in there and we just gonna let that all boil together. Just like that. We want that to come to a nice boil and just cook all that goodness up. Because this is all fresh vegetables. Whether it was frozen like the green beans and the corn, they were frozen, but they were not cooked before they were frozen. So this is all fresh veggies in here. Okay, let me take my bowls over here. I like to keep my dishes done up as I go. Y'all already know. Well, if you don't, you will. If you don't know, you're going to know. How about that? Just like downtown. There it is. Okay, now. Trying to get all my stuff. Got such a small kitchen, it's hard. Okay, so now I'm going to put, it calls for 2 tablespoons of butter. And there it is. Just add my, and that's real butter that I'm using. Like, I know some people use margarine, but I use the real thing. Just because the flavor is different, it's better, and the way the body processes natural foods, it's easier on the body. It processes it so much easier, very simple. And that's what we want. So just like that. So we want this to boil, and we really want this to cook down quite a bit. So as soon as this cooks down a little bit, and then I will add my lima beans and my okra and my shrimp and my nochi. Nochi. I don't know how to say them words. Them little potato things. Them tater dumplings. How about that? We call it just tater dumplings. And I know I stirred too much. The flavor in this stew is in the veggies. So it's in the veggies and the shrimp broth. And so that's the reason why there's not a lot of spice in this. There's black pepper. There was the bay leaf that I used to make the shrimp broth. And the rest is just from the flavor of the raw foods themselves. It does call for some salt, But I'm not going to use salt. I will use some Mrs. Dashes or Danos. Let me see. Let's do some Mrs. Dashes. So I will do the table blend of Mrs. Dashes, and we'll just sprinkle that. Whoops, right on top. I think that's about a tablespoon, which looks good because I have liver disease. I have to be very careful what I cook with, and salt will destroy your liver. So I need a diet that is salt free as much as possible. I mean, there's always going to be salt in canned foods or like unless you get the canned foods that's salt free, which I try to do. If I can find them salt free, no unsalted, that's what I get. If I can't, I buy the frozen or raw or the raw vegetables because it saves my liver. So, and the thing about liver disease is most Americans do have liver disease, but they just don't realize it. I realize it because in my blood work, I'm older, I'm 63 years old, and so when they do my blood work, my liver enzymes was really, really high. They was like 280 or something, so it was like the dangerous level. So I had to, I really had to take a change with my diet. So I try to use everything that's fresh and okay. As always, I always cook too much in my pot. Always. This is like, I don't know why. This is one of my things I do. I always overfill my pots and my bowls. So this is really cooking up nice. We just needed to cook down just a little bit. Okay. So I am going to put my can of lima beans. It calls for 1 cup of lima beans, so I got a can. And I'm just gonna throw them lima beans right in there, just to cook with the rest of these veggies for this stew. Just like that. I love that. Look at that orange. You can tell this is a fresh shrimp broth that I made today. Actually, I made it about 2 o'clock this afternoon, so it would be fresh for the stew. Excuse me. Thank you. So, so the last three, okay, four. The last four items that will go into the stew will be our lemon juice, our okra, and our shrimp. So is that, let's put you guys over here, just because I feel like there, that's better. And now that's cooking up so good. All them vegetables are starting to cook into the flavor of the stew. So does anybody know the difference between a stew and a soup? Do you understand the difference? This is what I think the difference is. I think the difference between a stew and a soup is a soup has more broth to it, and a stew is like thicker. It's like, it still has broth, but it's cooked down, and it's like a heavier, mm, thicker thing. It's Lisa Mary. Hi, Lisa Mary. Hi, Lee Melton. Hi, Kara Moore. Hey, Todd. I never had ganache before, really. I call it ganache. Like, that's wrong. It's called gnocchi or something like that. But y'all already know. Look, this southern in me says it's ganache. The very first time I ever made it, this woman that's from New Jersey, y'all, some of you know who I'm talking about. She made so much fun of me. She was like, "This girl right here is such a hick. She don't even know how to call it right." I was like, "Yeah, well, it is what it is. It is what it is. To me, it's ganache. To you, it's a gnocchi. How about that? Just like Mom used to make ganache." Okay. So a lot of this liquid is going to evaporate and cook when we add our gnocchi or ganache into it because of the dough that surrounds the potato. So yeah. So this is what gnocchi has in it. It has potato flakes, potatoes, water, enriched durum flour, niacin, thiamine, something, riboflavin, potato starch, and beta-carotene for color. So that's not too many ingredients. That's pretty good. The more ingredients, the more messes in it that's in it. You know what I mean? See, that's starting to cook up really, really nice. That is really starting to cook up nice. Okay, I'm going to add some of our cut okra in there. And this was frozen. See, I know my pan is too small. I'm going to have to get my big pan. Because why do I do this all the time? Let me go get a bigger pan because we need it. Hey, Jerry, I need my big deep pan. I need my, yeah, he's getting it. It's in the storage room. Look at that, y'all. That is cooking up just as nice as anything. I love that. Wait till y'all see this big old pan. Wait till y'all see this big old pan I got coming. Gotta do what I gotta do, man. I wonder if I can... There we go, I snapshotted it. Look at that. Yep, that's starting to cook down nice. And that's exactly what we want. Okay. Then throw some of this okra in there. Yes, look at that. Okay. I do have another thing of okra to put in it, but we gotta wait for the pan.
Is this gonna work?
Maybe.
I got the big
Maybe
black
wash
one.
it out just in case.
What is gnocchi?
It's a potato, it's like potatoes rolled up in to look like a pasta noodle.
Oh, okay. The thing would come up, I'm like,
You run some.
sound like gushy. Okay, you know.
turkey pan. So I'm hoping this is bigger than that one over there, but I don't know. I don't know if it is or not. We'll see.
It's wider, so it'll sit and expand a little bit better. If not, I got the black one that might be a little bit bigger.
Okay. Okay, Jerry, I need you to... Okay, let me transfer the... Careful, there's lemon juice in there. It's part of my... I need that for the last. Okay, let me get my... Okay. Okay, I'm going to transfer this to a bigger pan. Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, will you put that over on the... Wait a second, let me scrape it, because y'all know, waste not, want not. Okay. Put that over on my burner, please.
Okay.
Okay, now we in business.
Okay.
Okay. There we go. Okay, there we go. Now we got a bigger pan, y'all. Looky here. This is my turkey pan. But y'all already know. Okay, now I can put my other bag of cut okra. So that's 2 bags of cut okra that I've put into this. And we want that to boil with that okra. Look at that, looking mighty fine. Okay, and with that okra comes our potatoes. Shrimps is the last thing we will put in here because we do not, so this is what I'm putting in here. Right here. So y'all can see that. And we're just gonna dump that whole bag right in there. Just like that. Look at that. Just like downtown. Mm-mm-mm. My. Just like Mama used to make. No, my mom never made this. My mom didn't cook too tough. But my grandma did. And my aunt did. And my mother did. And my brother did. And my daddy died young. Working in the coal mine. There it is. Okay. So we want that all to boil together. And then I'm going to put the juice. This right here is the juice of a half of a lemon. And let me just make sure. And I let that lemon set up there on purpose because it was cold. You can see all the... Okay. So there's the juice of a half a lemon. We're going to pour that right in there. Just like that. Okay. Whoops. Okay, put that in the sink. There we go. Yeah, man. This pan is perfect. Look at that. Okra and shrimp stew. And this I will serve with honey biscuits, which I've already made. There it is. Look at that. We just have to put our shrimp in it. And this is the shrimp that I have cleaned and we have waiting. That shrimp is fresh from the Gulf of Mexico that I got in Pass Christian, Mississippi, when I was down there. And I brought home all the way up to Michigan a cooler with fresh shrimp in it, packed in ice all the way, just to make sure that it was okay. And I kept it packed in ice. And when we got home, we bagged it up and froze it. in separate bags with the heads on purpose, because the heads is what I want to taste. That broth. I want to see how that broth tastes. We don't want anything in it. We just want broth. And I will wash this spoon before I put it back in. Oh my Lord Jesus. Oh my goodness, today. That's what I'm talking about right there. That is so good. So good, so good, so good. Yes. I want this to boil. Boil, boil, boil. Boil, boil, boil. Boil. Okay. Let me get my... Let's see here. I'm gonna dice a little bit of onion just for our garnish. Actually, onion and Parmesan. Onion and Parmesan is what I use for the garnish for this particular stew. So I'm gonna cut a little bit of the tops of my green onions here. You can hear me cutting them. Just like downtown, son. There we go. And Todd has already let it be known he is waiting on a dish. He wants to be food bombed. So there it is. We will be food bombing. Look at how, do you see how that thickens up and it becomes like a stew? And that okra and that gnocchi, however you say it, ganache, makes it do. You do you, and I'll do me, and we'll all be happy. How about that? Okay, I'm waiting for this to boil. You know what, I might... Here, turn it this way. Yeah, that's better. I just don't think it was... Yeah, look at it. Okay, y'all. We are getting ready. Our bowls are all clean. Yep, I got them washed. There we go. There it is. I'm just getting everything ready over here while that's doing its thing. Okay. Look at that. We are getting ready to throw in our shrimp very soon because this is cooking up really good, and that's what we wanted. Look at that, y'all. Look at that. Let me show y'all. Let's take you down here. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. There we go. Got a pretty picture of that, didn't I? Yeah, sure did. There we go. Okay, I said, there we go. And this one, got it. This looks mighty fine, y'all. I wish y'all had smell-o-vision. I wish, I wish, I wish. Okay, I'm finna put our shrimp in it. Just a second, let me get my... Get my... Okay, this goes in after the shrimp, but... There we go. Okay, had to open that arm. Okay, we are going to put our shrimp in there now. There it is. Look at that. Oh my. There we go. I'm taking pictures just in case you guys are curious. I'm still learning with Jerry's phone. There we go. Look at that. Mm-mm-mm. Just gotta wait for that shrimp to cook. Just like downtown, y'all. Okay. And this is parm. We are going to put about a cup of parm. Just like that. And then that's... There we go. And that will add a flavor to that is just amazing. Look at that. Mm-mm-mm. Dinter. Okay, we just want that to boil up just a little bit. Yes, look at that. Look at that shrimp right there. A little ganache. Look at that. I know it's not called ganache, but in my book it is. I'm not the brightest bulb in the tree, so I've been... There it is. Okay, now let me get ready. And we will make his... I just want to stir that. Look at that, y'all. Mm-mm-mm. Just like downtown, son. That's what I'm talking about right here. Just like Mama and them. My. Okay, I'm gonna turn that off. Jerry, I need the lid for this. Just because I want to cover it. I don't want anything to land in it. So we're gonna make him a nice little bowl. Look at that. We want a couple of them shrimps on top. Some of that okra.
Everybody like drooling and...
Yay. Clean, yeah. Okay. Will you help me carry these guys? I'm gonna, that's off. Okay, now let's go over here You bring that one? Okay, or not. I asked him to bring it and he just watched me.
I gotta unplug it.
It's okay. Okay, let me tighten this up. Today, come on, today.
What?
Here, we don't need this right now. Sorry guys, just a second. Okay, let me put my other, there we go. Right there. Okay. All right, let me get my, here. And so this is what we'll do. We'll put some of our cheese right on top. And some of our green onions. Just like that. There it is. There it is. Dinner. Shrimp and okra stew. Y'all see that shrimp right there? Let's get that shrimp out there. There it is, just like downtown, y'all. Thank you for watching my live. Thank you so much. God bless you. From Mama D's house to yours. Y'all have a good night.